Hey guys, it's Jaden from Tech for Days, and today we are here with the iFans battery case for the iPhone 5S. Now we have finally reached the age where there will be less and less iPhone 5S case coverages coming, because as you can see, my phone is bare. There's no screen protectors, there's no nothing, because eventually there's gonna be cases and reviews using this bad boy, the iPhone 6 Plus that I just picked up. If you guys haven't seen my unboxing, go check that out because it's pretty awesome and exciting. We're gonna have a bunch of new content coming now that I have this giant dude to actually do better case videos with more cases. And pretty soon this one is gonna have to be sent back to Verizon and we're no longer gonna have it. So we're gonna try to squeeze in our last case videos. Chances are if you've been searching for cases, you've seen some of mine before. So let's go ahead and just jump into this quick unboxing. And we also have the golden plated headset adapter from, this is a company called Mobile Pal. So they sell this and they also sell these separate adapters. They sell separate frames and all kinds of stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and do a quick little review and unboxing of their awesome case. And we've had one exactly like this before, but we're gonna go ahead and give them a nice little review and see if anything's changed with their version of the case. So let's go ahead and get into this review and unboxing. Okay guys, so here we are. We have a real knife this time. I've been using my fingers, but finally we actually have a nice utensil to actually cut these little seals. So we're gonna go ahead and slice through them. And I just cut the box just a little bit. Now this case seems pretty awesome. We're gonna go ahead and show you guys the additional hours and standby time you can get. You guys can go ahead and read that since I have done a review on this before, it turned out. So we'll go ahead and show you guys some of the diagrams, the outputs. Now I've used this case several times before, and not this specific one, but this specific type I should say, and the 2400 milliamp capacity has worked amazing for me. I've had no problems with them. Now let's go ahead and check out their version like I said. And here we have our case. It looks very nice. It's actually a light silver. Looks really nice. And we have two frames with instruction manual. And we have a micro USB charging cable right here, which is nice of them to include. And we have a headset adapter, which is also gold plated. And they did actually include another one for me to review. So we'll go ahead and open this one up. Which this one is pretty cool as well. It's matte black. And I'm not sure if there's going to be an audio difference between the two. I don't really think so since they are pretty similar. They're pretty similar despite the bottom. And let's go ahead and see if it actually fits nicely in the case. So that fits. It doesn't really fit that great inside of this specific case. So it is just a little bit snug compared to the white version, which also feels a little bit snug. So we might have to have the phone in there or something, or maybe this isn't on right. Yeah, this is not on right, so it's not exactly clipped on, so we do need to actually put in the phone and re-clip it. Now these frames are a little bit iffy. I have learned throughout my time using these types of cases, they're not the best cutout, so they kind of act just a little bit weird. So sometimes you do have to like jiggle them around to get them to fit better. Now I really do like this silver color. It looks really cool and it's almost like a pearl white. So I think the color looks really awesome. And we do have a small lip now, but I've actually had these cases crack. I've actually sold some of these since I had so many of them. And every person I sold them to, they actually ended up with their phones cracked because the frames do pop out. So you do need to note that this is not a protective case. By no means the frames will pop out. However, it is actually protective of your device so it won't get scratched. But if you do drop it, you're pretty much done. So that's not really anything negative. Just be aware this is not an outer box or a light proof that's going to save your device or anything like that. Now I really do like the form factor, and there's nice little bumpers which don't really affect the pressability of the button. It's not too hard. It's pretty easy, and you have good access to the volume ports. So that's pretty awesome right there. And then we have a nice little seam right here. It looks really cool because it kind of makes the device just look really nice. And then we have our little charging port. On the bottom we have a headphone jack, which again is just a little bit iffy. So it fits really good with the device in it. So that actually did a lot better than without the device in it. So that's a pretty good thing. It is just a little bit tight. So you do have to be careful of that. I'll show you guys how tight it is. So it is just a little bit of tightness in here. Here in the bottom, it doesn't actually meet up as well as it should. The frame is a little bit unstable, so you do have to kind of jiggle it back and forth because it doesn't really stay on. So I don't think this is the best frame, and we will try the black one to just confirm that. And then the headphone adapter is just a little bit hard to put on since it doesn't fit as well. So I can't really plug it into the device with this specific frame since it's kind of iffy and it doesn't fit well. I'll try to show you guys this and zoom out just a little bit, and maybe this will focus a little better. But as you guys can maybe see, it's a little bit hard. It's just hard to actually get to meet. It doesn't really meet. It doesn't want to stay on the case. So let's go ahead and try the black version of the frame and see if that one works any better. But this one is definitely not a great frame to have on this. So the quality of this frame is pretty bad. Let's go ahead and check out this black one. Hopefully it works better. And it appears to be fitting a lot better, so we'll keep snapping around. So that fit good, okay. And here on the bottom, it's actually not meeting up as well. So if you guys can see that tiny, let me turn off the light so you guys can see this a little better. There's a tiny like little gap, and it doesn't necessarily meet up with the phone. So I believe you guys can actually see that right there. Do you see that? And if you clip it, it doesn't stay down. So that's just a little bit disappointing with this case, and it happens on both frames. So I think there's something wrong with the way it was constructed. I'm not sure if it's defective or something, but that's just a little bit annoying because it's hard to actually get the headphone adapter inside of there when it's not clipped on very well. And this black one is actually pretty nice, and it fits in just a little bit better, just a little bit. They're kind of the same connector. They just have slightly different material, and the black one's more plasticky, and the white one is a little bit more rubbery, so it's just a little bit easier to actually put in the device with the black plastic one. And it is a little bit more flimsier than the white one, but I do like it, and they're both gold plated, so you'll definitely get really good audio out of those. So of course, when I did my charge test with this one before, I actually got around a 5% increase in 5 minutes. So it was pretty good, and I had tons of applications in the background. So I do recommend this case if you're looking for a Mophie alternative, something very, very cheap compared to a Mophie. This is definitely your best bet, but the protectiveness is not the greatest, and this is the most thorough I've been with this case since I have used one before. It's just not the best in protecting your device, nor is it the best meeting right here. I notice it just doesn't meet right on this specific case. It's a little bit odd, so I do think that something needs to be fixed with these frames. Just the way they're being made is not the greatest. However, I do think the case is very solid. I really love the really bright LEDs. It just looks really cool. And surprisingly, this case is almost dead, so it wasn't charged or anything before receiving it. And some other ones that I've reviewed, they were actually charged. So it would be nice if it was just a little bit more pre-charged, just in case you needed it right away. And then we have our nice kickstand, which works very, very well actually in supporting the device. So they did a really good job with the kickstand. The audio is just a little bit muffled, just a tiny bit. I can play a little audio sample for you guys right now. So let's go ahead and head into the music. Turn on my light again. And so let's go ahead and get a song playing right here. So it's just a little bit muffled. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take off the case and show you guys versus the case audio and the phone audio. And again, it's kind of easy to take off the case since it doesn't clip very well. So right here you can definitely tell it's not clipping or grabbing well. So this is definitely just a temporary case. If you do buy this case, I do recommend it, that's for sure. I just don't recommend it for daily use since it just doesn't protect the phone very well. It just doesn't do a good job, and the frames just aren't really great. So let's go ahead and replay that song so I can show you guys a sample. So hopefully you guys actually were able to notice that audio difference, since this one does muffle it a little bit, and it does have audio ports on the bottom. I think just something with the construction, it doesn't necessarily amplify it as it possibly just, I feel like it just can be better. It doesn't really amplify it as great as it possibly can. So it's just a little weird. And again, the frame's just a little bit iffy. So on the bottom, it just doesn't clip, which is just really annoying. However, I don't think all of them are like this, nor do I think this is a bad case, since I did have one and it was my daily driver for almost a month straight. I love these cases actually. There's tons of cases. If you search for these cases, this is all you're gonna see. There's humongous amount of these, and the LED is super bright. It's almost like a nightlight, especially in the dark. And I think the white cables look really, really nice. It's definitely a really good value for your money, but you do want to be careful in which color you get, because it appears that these silver ones are having some issues with the frames. And hopefully you don't get one with a little issue frame, since I do really love these cases, and during my experience using them in general, it's been completely positive. And again, they do sell the gold-plated headphone adapter just in case you want an additional one or you lose it. So it's really nice to see that they actually sell them. That's really awesome. I haven't seen a company who sells these specific cases sell them, so I think that's really awesome. And it fits very nicely into the headphone port, and there's no issues there. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I will definitely let you know, since I have used these cases several times before. I can definitely give you guys a very good synopsis or advice if you need any of that. I'm hoping this review was good enough for you and you're able to make your decision based on this. Like I said, there are different versions, there are different colors, which I know for sure work a little bit better with the frames. It just, there has to be a bad batch among the apples. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, feel free to ask any questions, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.